Dear Father, on this day of all days, we're reminded that there is hate in the world. As just yesterday, a young man was killed for uh, taking questions, really. And today is the anniversary of September 11th attacks in the United States. So, Father, as we look at this teaching of Jesus about hate towards his followers, help us to understand and have the courage to face hate with bravery and truth, even as Jesus did. In his name we ask it. Amen. John chapter 15. Jesus continues teaching us here, and while teaching his closest disciples about how things are about to change. Um, and you see some wistfulness this morning, some, oh, if only it didn't have to be this way. Verse 21, they will treat you this way because of my name, for they do not know the one who sent me. So they maybe think they're doing right by the one who sent me, that is God the Father, but they don't really know him. And so they're going to be acting towards you out of ignorance of what God the Father really wants. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not be guilty of sin. But now they have no excuse for their sin. Kind of wondering, what if I hadn't come? People wouldn't be dealing with guilt in the same way that they are now. But they have seen how a human life can and should be lived in relationship to God the Father. They've witnessed it, and now there's no excuse for just saying, well, I'm only human. And we still hear that a lot today in our society, and maybe even use it in our own minds. But Jesus says, yeah, I was only human. And by being close to the Father, I was able to live. Whoever hates me hates my Father as well. Yeah, to have that person that just lives the way you want to live but can't manage to live. It's either that or he's living the lifestyle that you just absolutely find abhorrent. Either way, hate can come into the picture when we look at Jesus. If I had not done among them the works no one else did, they would not be guilty of sin. As it is, they have seen, and yet they have hated both me and my Father. So we've seen these works throughout the book of John, and John highlighting a few key ones, but Jesus not only lived among them as the perfect human example, he also lived among them as clearly God come on the earth. And we see that through the works that he did. So they had God right in their midst. And they still didn't get it. But this is to fulfill what was written in their law. They have hated me without reason. And that's from a psalm of David where he's being oppressed. I don't know if it's one where he's getting chased around. by King Saul for no reason, quite possibly. Um, God knows that we struggle so much with hate and jealousy, pettiness. But I did come and I did do these God level works among them. So I need witnesses to this. When the advocate comes, whom I send to you from the Father, the Spirit of truth that goes out from the Father, he will testify about me. So we Christians talk about the day of Pentecost when the Spirit of truth was unleashed on the earth in a whole new way. Now the Spirit is free to testify into people's hearts. And you also must testify, for you have been with me from the beginning. And they did, right? They took them a while. Day of Pentecost on, though, they were testifying about Jesus, what they'd seen, risking the hatred of their society. And coming back at that hatred not with hatred of their own, but with truth, lovingly and firmly given. May the Lord add his blessing to this reading of his word.